such an asshole.
AssholeConsulting.com. Hi, Ass. I want to start off where I was last February. I was working a really crappy job at a print shop, being treated like shit by my lazy, good-for-nothing Boston coworkers. I was in a lot of debt. I was depressed. I was going absolutely nowhere. I am married with a son who has high-functioning autism. In my mid-40s, I saw no future in my life, only working hard to make things better for my son. Then I bought your book, Bachelor Pad Economics. 1 year later to the date, I now own my own printing business in my home. I have a pretty decent customer base, mainly clients stolen from my previous employer. A few friends have gotten together with me to supply me with cheap equipment and computers. I have very little overhead. I have an attorney and an accountant suggested by your book. I have about $3,000 in receivables. I am loving working at home because I'm able to spend a lot of time with my wife and son. I couldn't believe how easy it was, and your book led me the way. After reading Bachelor Pad Economics, I read a few other good books like You're Hired by Bill Rancic, Cold Hard Truth by Kevin O'Leary, How to Think Like a Billionaire by Donald Trump, and I'm just about to reread Leadership by Rudy Giuliani. Would you recommend other books to start up like me? I would recommend you stop reading books. All right, that's nice. I'm not saying that, but you've done enough rah-rah Tony Robbins bullshit. What I would recommend you do is you read a book on basic accounting, like how to read an income statement, how to read a balance sheet. You don't need any more stroke your dick, feel good, you can do it books, all right? And these are for like running larger organizations. You just need to run your company now. And you don't have to read a book on accounting. You could take a class on how to read an income statement and how to read a balance sheet. And then I would also, may not make sense now, but your accountant would love you for this, and explain to you later, the cash cycle, specifically accounts receivables and accounts payables. How just because they said they're going to pay you doesn't mean they're going to pay you. So I know you think, oh, I got a lot of receivables. Yeah, but that ain't money now, is it? And you need to finance your expenses in between the time that you drop money on generating this revenue, this income, and the time you actually collect the cash. And that is probably the number 2 killers of businesses, I'd say. Where people are like, I got a business contract, I made money, and you assume you're going to get paid, and then they like wait 180 days to pay you. So that's another thing. But I'd stop reading books now. Things were a little tough starting out. This is month number 4, and the startup is going very slow. My equipment keeps breaking down. I keep running out of funding. And there are days I am working 18 hours or not at all. I keep getting discouraged and depressed, but every time I felt like this was a mistake and there is no hope, I pictured you giving me the finger and telling me to quit being a pussy and make it happen. Well, that's also entrepreneurship. You're only 4 months into it. I mean, it's not like you... I love it how everybody, well, not everybody, but there's this perception of business that, well, you X, Y, and Z and the money flows in 30 seconds. No. This is entrepreneurship. Some days you got nothing. Some days you got too much. And that's what it is. And you keep running out of funding. What do you mean you run out of funding? You mean you run out of income? You run out of revenue? These words mean something. That's why you need to take an accounting course. Right? Funding means someone gave you the money either as an investor or they lent you money. And that doesn't mean you're making profit. As a matter of fact, that means you're not making money. You're not making a profit. You keep relying on external sources of money because your company isn't profitable. It's parasitic. That's not good. The goal of business is not to play make-believe entrepreneur and make decisions. Right? The goal of business is you spend $50, you get back $60. That's what the goal of business is. This is what people, when they run restaurants, they're running money-losing operations, but they've never wanted, the first goal wasn't to make money. The first goal was to run a restaurant. And we call those hobbies, where you lose money. So everything sounded great. Now this paragraph makes money. Okay, is this a hobby? Are you making money? Are you losing money? Or is this a business and you're making money? Here's my problem. As suggested by your book and through both my accounting and attorney, I signed up as an LLC. I thought things were going to be easy, but no one wants to lend an LLC money. That's not true. I've been in banking. We will lend money to an LLC, even though I have a pretty decent credit score. They might lend to you as an individual, but maybe not the LLC. There's 2 separate legal entities, even though it's very likely it's a pass-through entity. In order to progress, I need a high production color copier, an envelope printer, and a few more gadgets that are pretty expensive. I've been diagnosed with autism. No! You don't do that to me. We do not do that here. We don't do, I'm black, I'm short, I got a vagina, and I got the ADHD. We do not do that here because it doesn't change your course of action. Do not give me that fucking bullshit. Good for you. You have what is very likely a made-up disease. Good for you. So I used to tiptoe around some issues. I only buy things that I need when I need them, and when the only glue rack that I needed was $850, I just said screw it and made my own. Not bad. There you go. I see. That's why I don't believe it. This is why I don't believe it. You claim you got this mental disability, but then you got the wisdom and the intelligence to go and start building things on your own. Unfortunately, I cannot make a color copier. I cannot nail the funding to do anything right now. All right, this sounds kind of important. Why did you quit your job and start an LLC and all this other stuff when you knew you needed a high production color copier? Did you do any financial projections before you decided to embark on this? Because it doesn't sound like you did. Now, there's always going to be unexpected expenses, or I didn't think about that, or unexpected opportunities. Oh, well, if we had more money, I could buy this and buy that thing. We could really kick some ass. This sounded like a key mission critical thing that you just fucked. You just brain farted. To make money, what you need this, I want to deliver pizzas. It would assume to me I need a car. Just logic. Just me assuming. So now you've quit your job. You've alienated your previous employer. Sounds like you're losing money. Unfortunately, I cannot. In order to progress, I need a high production color copier, an envelope printer, and a few more gadgets that are pretty expensive. All right, that sounded like that should have been there in your business plan. That sounded like you should have ran those. It's spilled milk now, but now you need those things. Those are mission critical things for your company. And what's that going to cost? And do you have the money for it? Well, if you don't have the money for it, which it doesn't sound like you do, it's going to come from one thing, or two things. Other people, or yourself, which we're going to get to later. Unfortunately, I cannot make a color copier. I cannot nail the funding to do anything right now. My previous boss is teaching at the local SBC, and the local community trust can only grant a limited amount of money. Only if I do free things for civic groups. You're going to a community? That's how bad your finances are, is that now you're going to charity and government organizations to lend you money? This sounds great. My accountant doesn't know of any loans because she started her accounting business for nothing, and she grew into a large partnership without taking any loans. From one start from nothing business owner to another, how do you suggest getting money? Is there a way besides corrupt evil banks or lending scumbags? Not all of them are scumbags, and most of them are. I cannot do jobs for people with equipment I do not have. My wife works a pretty decent job and sustains us, even though we still have a lot of debt. I'm looking into a night job like delivering pizza to help make ends meet. My credit cards are maxed out until my income tax comes around. All right. So you're not making money. You are losing money. This is a money-losing business. But I still won't have enough funds to secure even a rented machine. Although I thought of using my personal emergency credit card to purchase something, but I don't want to pay $8,500 for a $5,000 machine. All right, so you need $5,000. I'm also looking into a business location because I could service a lot more people if I have a shop. Oh yeah, let's just load up more fucking expenses to your already money-losing operation. No, you're not renting a place. You're doing this out of your home, if at all. And then when you need to expand, because your house doesn't have the room, then you go ahead and rent a space. So a few clarity tests in the past is like to have your insight, but now name your price for some serious stuff. Spare no middle fingers. Oh no, I'll let you have it. Okay. So I asked you if you had any income statements or financial statements. I'm making a profit, just not a real big one yet. See, no, you're not. You're not. Are you? See, that's why I need to know. I need to look at the income statement to see if you actually are making an income. I still have to purchase some machines to broaden my horizons. I've been keeping track with some Excel income statements that my accountant provided. Good. I only have less than $300 in fixed costs per month because I have my office at home. I'm also waiting on my $3,000 in receivables. It should take a few more weeks. All right, I can tell, because you've maxed out your credit cards and all this other stuff, that you have a money-losing operation. All right, and I can't 100% guarantee, but my banking spidey senses is like 98% sure you're losing money. And there's or you're at least on paper you might be making money because you got $3,000 in receivables. All right, but I'm gonna bet I can almost guarantee you, because you're going into debt, you're losing cash flow. All right, which is another reason for you to take an accounting class. So here's where you get. Now it's not that bad. This is not that bad, because when you say like, oh, I need like all this equipment and gear, I'm like, oh, what is it? $100,000 worth of gear? You got $300 a month in fixed expenses. That's a hobby. Shoot, that's people's drinking tab. That was my drinking tab from a while ago. And you need a $5,000 machine. All right. There's one or two ways you could do this. Okay, you could borrow money from a bank or the local charity organization, or because I'm assuming you've already gone to the Wells Fargo's and looked at it and said, "Fuck that," and now you're at the bottom of the barrel and you're asking for charity. So you could borrow other people's money, but that's likely not going to happen, and you're frankly going to piss away more time filling out goddamn loan applications for money that they're never going to lend you. And you're going to have to charge interest, and there's closing fees and all that other stuff. You need to get a second job, dude. You need to get a second job. And you need to work up that money. Now, thankfully, it's not that much. It's $5,000. That might take a month or two. But you might have to tighten the budget a little bit. Do you have any other assets you don't need? Can you go sell a bunch of crap that you don't need or don't use? Clear up some room, declutter the house. That's going to take labor too, but you might be able to raise some money there. But I would go work a second job. You could deliver pizzas. You could, I'd say, work security. Do something. Get that $5,000, and then give yourself an honest goal. But before we embark on that, is this really all you need? That printer and an envelope fitter or whatever else? Or are there some other key important things that you could sit down with a piece of paper and evaluate and start thinking about? Because before you continue this on, you need to reevaluate whether your business is worth the time and the money and is going to be profitable. And if all of a sudden you forgot, oh yeah, I need some rollers, or I need some other heavy machinery, go, oh, and that's $15,000. Well, I didn't think about it. Okay, then close up shop, go work as a pizza delivery boy, and start thinking about your next career, right? But you need to do that, yeah, because I don't know anything about printing. You need to think, because, okay, it's a $5,000 machine today and another $1,000 envelope spitter tomorrow, all right? And that's what you think you need now. Now is there going to be some that you could have forecasted and figured out, like, oh, yeah, you know, that's right. Ink costs a lot of money. Oh, whatever, I don't know. And then all of a sudden you're on to the next problem. Well, then you're one of these assholes that keeps going back to the bank. Oh, yeah, you know, I mean, literally, they come in 1 week. I need money for this. Okay. Your finances look good, and then the very next week, oh, you know, I forgot something. Well, why the fuck didn't you think about that when you came in here the first week? Now we got to piss away twice the amount of labor, underwriting and analyzing your fucking loan. We could have done it, structured it a whole differently. Don't be that idiot. Sit down and figure out what your financing needs are for your company, right? If it really is just this color printer and some other minor stuff, it's going to be $5,000, fine. Work a second job, work up that money, save it. But I strongly recommend working security, because what you could do in the meantime while you're working security, you can go online and learn about the income statement, the balance sheet. You can also learn about the payables, receivables flow, and then the cash cycle, which is kind of the same thing. And it would also probably help to study the cash flow statement, but that's not that vital. It's more important you understand receivables and payables. So yeah, that's what I would do in your situation. You are going to need a second job. if you get paid $12 an hour and you're going to spend 500 hours begging and pleading with your cup in your hand to banks and all that, well, there's your $5,000, and you don't have to pay interest on it. But while you are working security or working your second job, you really need to start sitting, strategizing, and thinking about your company and how profitable how viable it is in the future. What's its feasibility? Not what you'd like. God, fuck's sake, not what you'd like. That's for bar owners and restaurateurs who all get their asses kicked by Gordon Ramsay and Restaurant Impossible. It's whether it's actually feasible, right? So, enjoy the next couple of months of hell working your second job. I hope you are successful. That's why I'm cracking down. I just don't do that. You're amazing and you follow your dreams. That fucking faggoty Oprah bullshit is long outdated. It shows you how damaging it is. But before you go and borrow the money, or you buy the machines, certainly before you buy the machines, you need to figure out, while you're on this journey of saving up that $5,000, is that going to be enough now? Is this company viable? Does it have a future? And if it does, fine. Then you sign on the dotted line, pay for the machine, and you go make business. If it doesn't, because you've been lying to yourself, oh yeah, I forgot, there's some things keep breaking, and then I forgot about that. Well, then you have yourself a very, very boring, expensive, and taxing hobby. All right, see you guys later. assholeconsulting.com. Go to my Patreon account. Donate money to me. Why? Because I'm an asshole. Patreon.com/Aaron Clary. I don't need it. It just pisses off all my enemies that hate my guts because, oh, you didn't do anything for that. You're right, I didn't. It comes in free. It goes to pay for shit. It goes to pay for stuff. But, all right, we'll see you guys then. Toodles.